Why peace feels wrong when you've struggled your whole life. He had waited years for this. No meetings, no deadlines, no alarm clock. No one needed anything from him. He was sitting near the ocean. His phone was inside. His family was laughing somewhere behind him. And for perhaps the first time in years, there was nothing he had to do. This was supposed to feel good. Instead, he felt anxious. His mind started searching. Did I forget something? Should I check my email? What's happening at work? Maybe I should use this time to plan next month. He reached for his phone, stopped himself, and suddenly realized something strange. He didn't know how to do nothing. He knew how to work. He knew how to solve problems. He knew how to survive difficult seasons. But peace? Peace made him uncomfortable. And that's when a question appeared. Why do I feel safer struggling than I do resting? Maybe you've experienced this too. Everything finally becomes quiet, and instead of enjoying it, your mind starts looking for the next problem. Maybe that's because some people spend so long surviving that eventually survival stops being something they do. It becomes who they are. The child who learned to watch the room. Ten Hunt. Long before he became successful, he became observant. As a child, he could sense when something was wrong before anyone said a word. A door closed differently. Someone's voice changed. The room became quieter. He noticed everything. So he learned to anticipate, to prepare, to stay useful. If there was tension, he became easy. If someone was upset, he tried not to make things worse. If something needed to be done, he did it. And slowly, his nervous system learned a rule. Relaxation comes after everything is safe. The problem? Everything was never completely safe. There was always something. Another problem. Another responsibility. Another person to worry about. So he kept waiting for permission to relax. And eventually, he stopped realizing he was waiting. When struggle becomes identity, people adapt to almost anything. Even stress. Especially stress. If you've spent years fighting financially, fighting emotionally, fighting to prove yourself, fighting to keep relationships together, fighting to build a career, fighting just to feel enough, struggle becomes familiar. And familiar doesn't necessarily mean healthy. It simply means recognizable. That's why something strange can happen when life improves. You finally get stability, and your mind starts creating instability. You finally meet someone emotionally available, and part of you becomes suspicious. You finally have enough money, and suddenly you need another goal. You finally get a day off, and you fill it with work. You finally experience peace, and immediately wonder, what's wrong? Nothing may be wrong. But your mind learned that calm was temporary. So instead of experiencing peace, you prepare for its disappearance. The addiction to being the strong one. People love telling him, I don't know how you do it. You always figure things out. Nothing seems to knock you down. He smiled when they said it. Being strong felt good. But eventually, strength became a contract. If you're the strong one, you can't fall apart. If you're the dependable one, you can't need help. If you're the successful one, you can't admit you're lost. If you're everyone's safe place, where do you go when you don't feel safe? That's the hidden loneliness of strength. Eventually, people stop checking on you because you've convinced everyone, including yourself, that you don't need checking on. And something even stranger happens. You begin protecting the identity. Someone offers help? No, I've got it. Someone tries to care for you? I'm fine. Someone tells you to rest? I can't right now, not because you don't want support. Because receiving it threatens the role you've spent years mastering. You know how to be needed. You don't necessarily know how to need. Why healthy love can feel suspicious. This doesn't stay at work. It follows you into relationships. Imagine spending years believing love requires effort. You chase. You prove. You fix. You accommodate. You overthink. You wonder where you stand. Then one day, someone simply loves you. They call when they say they'll call. They communicate. They don't punish you with silence. You don't have to earn their attention. And instead of immediately feeling safe, you may feel confused. Where's the intensity? Where's the chase? Why am I not obsessing? Maybe something is missing. Sometimes, what's missing is not chemistry. It's anxiety. And when anxiety has accompanied connection for years, calm can initially feel like disconnection. You may mistake unpredictability for passion, relief for love, chasing for commitment, intensity for intimacy, because your emotional system recognizes the pattern, not because it's good for you, because you've been there before. The guilt of having a good life, then something happened he never expected. Life became easier. Not easy, easier. He had money in the bank, people he loved, more control over his schedule. Problems still existed, but he wasn't surviving anymore. And strangely, he felt guilty. Other people were struggling. People from his past were struggling. Part of him almost felt embarrassed by his peace. So he created new mountains, new targets, new responsibilities, new reasons not to stop. Because stopping created a terrifying possibility. Maybe I don't have to suffer anymore. That sounds ridiculous. Why would anyone resist that? Because struggle can give us identity, purpose, proof. If your entire story has been, I survived, who are you when survival is no longer required? That's a much harder question than it sounds. The empty. Saturday. One Saturday morning, he woke up early. No alarm. The house was quiet. Normally, he'd immediately start working. Instead, he made coffee, walked outside, and sat down. Nothing profound happened. No revelation. No dramatic breakthrough. He simply watched the morning happen. A bird landed nearby. A car passed. The sun moved slowly through the trees. His coffee became cold. And for once, he didn't try to turn the moment into something productive. Then he noticed something. His body was uncomfortable. His mind kept saying, "Get up! Do something! You're wasting time." And for the first time, he didn't obey it. He stayed. 10 minutes, then 20. And slowly, something inside him softened. Maybe rest wasn't laziness. Maybe peace wasn't something he had to earn. Maybe this was what all the struggling had supposedly been for. Learning a new definition of strength. Healing doesn't always mean becoming stronger. Sometimes, you've already mastered strength. Maybe healing means becoming softer, receiving help, allowing someone else to carry something, taking the afternoon off, letting a relationship be easy, enjoying success without immediately creating another test, saying, "I don't know, I need you, I'm tired, I could use some help." For someone who has spent their entire life surviving, those sentences can require more courage than pushing through another impossible situation. Because pushing through is familiar, receiving is new, resting is new, trusting is new, peace is new, and new things often feel unsafe before they feel normal. You don't need another battle. There may be a version of you that deserves to hear something. The version that carried everything. The version that kept going when nobody knew how tired you were. The version that survived the years you thought would break you. That person deserves respect. But maybe they don't need another battle. Maybe the greatest way to honor the person who survived is to finally allow them to live. You don't have to create another crisis to feel alive. You don't have to exhaust yourself to deserve rest. You don't have to earn love through sacrifice. You don't have to prove your worth through suffering. And you don't need chaos to know that something matters. Maybe the next chapter isn't about becoming tougher. Maybe it's learning that you are finally safe enough to put the armor down. Putting down the armor. Imagine carrying armor for so long, you forget you're wearing it. It protected you. It helped you survive. It got you through battles nobody else saw. So you became proud of it. And you should be. But armor has weight. And eventually, the battle ends. The question becomes, will you notice? Or will you keep fighting enemies that aren't there anymore? There comes a point when survival is no longer strength. Sometimes strength is trusting the quiet, trusting the relationship, trusting the good season, trusting yourself enough to stop preparing for disaster. So when life finally gives you a moment of peace, don't immediately fill it. Don't apologize for it. Don't manufacture another mountain to climb. Sit there. Let the coffee get cold. Watch the morning happen. And remind yourself, you survived the life that taught you to wear the armor. You don't have to wear it forever.